Most operating tables have rail mounting bolts which attach the rail to the table. The clamp jaws have a centrally located notch to allow for positioning over a rail mounting bolt. The Rultract clamp can be positioned over a bolt, as you see here, or positioned in between the bolts. What you do not want to do is to clamp onto a bolt. If the clamp clamps onto a bolt, it will not tighten securely to the OR table bed rail. So you need to reposition it and put it either over the bolt or in between the bolt. The 4110 combination clamp can be applied to the OR table bed rail by the circulator nurse with the tightening knob on the bottom, or it can be inverted and applied to the OR table bed rail by the scrub nurse with the tightening knob on the top. Properly attaching the Rultract table clamp to the OR table bed rail. Attach the clamp to the table rail approximately 2 inches below the patient's axilla on the side to be dissected. Clamp position may change or be adjusted according to age and size of patient or physician's technique or preference. Open the clamp jaws completely by turning the cross handle counterclockwise, all the way until it stops. Hold clamp jaws with one hand and check for free movement of the jaws by squeezing together, then releasing. Before attaching the clamp to the table rail, check for possible obstruction. Now is a good time to notice the location of the rail mounting bolts that hold the rail to the OR table. Hold the clamp by the upper and lower jaws with one hand and slightly tilt the upper jaw inward toward the table. Place the upper jaw over the rail. Then pivot the lower jaw inward toward the table. Both jaws should be in line with the table rail. Squeeze the jaws together to assure there is no obstruction between the jaws and rail. While holding the jaws closed, securely tighten them with the cross handle. Notice the space here and be sure not to get your glove stuck when tightening the handle. Now notice I'm squeezing the jaws closed and then turning and tightening the handle. I'm not trying to make the jaws close by using the handle. What you want to do is squeeze those jaws onto the rail, hold them closed, and then tighten the handle. That will ensure a secure fit to the OR table bed rail. When pulling on the body of the clamp, there should be no movement when applied properly. If the clamp has movement, check for obstructions between the jaws and the rail, loosen the knob, reposition the clamp, being sure that there are no obstructions, and retighten the knob while squeezing the jaws closed on the bed rail. This clamp is attached properly to the OR table bed rail. Now, as I said, this combination clamp can be applied to the OR table bed rail with the tightening knob on the top as you see here, or it can be inverted with the tightening knob on the bottom if the circulator nurse needs to attach the clamp to the bed rail. You would simply turn it over, squeeze the jaws closed on the bed rail, and tighten the knob. Removing the Rultract table clamp from the OR table. Place one hand around the clamp jaws to hold together during removal. Loosen the cross handle by turning counterclockwise until the handle stops. A slight wiggle of the clamp will release the clamping pressure, which allows the spring-loaded jaws to separate.